A live look here over downtown Los Angeles tonight, which continues to see protest activity. Earlier today, streets were lined with demonstrators, some still walking the street as we see a large law enforcement presence on the streets here, attempting to take back control. Now take a look. Earlier, demonstrators confronted patrol vehicles and shut down stretches of the 101 freeway. Hundreds of National Guard troops joined LAPD and CHP officers in the city's downtown core. A protester was even seen hurling rocks. Others seen reportedly setting driverless vehicles on fire. Tonight, we're learning at least 3 LA police officers were mildly hurt. And this comes as President Trump deployed some 2,000 National Guard troops to California over the protests. Governor Newsom has been pushing back, calling the move, quote, purposefully inflammatory, and warning it will only escalate tensions.
What's up, family? What's up? Hey, man, happy Monday, man. Hey, I got another one for you. Hey, what we got going on? What y'all think about this? What we got going on, family? What do we got going on, man? You know, what's going over in California? Is it us against us? US against US? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, man, it'd be nice before you come in the house. Just hit that like button. Appreciate that. Help that algorithm go and trying to monetize this channel. Hey, but what's going on with California, man? What we looking at over here, man? We activating the National Guard. They haven't been activated actually since the 60s. And when they were activated, that came off of helping the protesters. You know, they were helping the protesters, so the president activated them without permission of the governor. But this time is to go against the protesters, man. Hey, how your day doing, man? Did you walk today, man? I just got off that track, man, and got that out of the way. Walk to live. You know we gotta walk. We gotta love ourselves. Remember, family, nobody can love you like you can love yourself, man. Hey, this is a real touchy subject right here today, man. But we're gonna talk a little bit about unity, man. And the biggest thing I like in this is I see unity, whether it's on both sides, but mostly I want to give a shout out to our Hispanic community, man, because I do understand, family, you do have to watch what you watching sometime out there because they will sometime put on different channels, you know, what they want you to see. So, and if you're on the outside looking in, it's no, it's like being nosy, like meddling. If you're on the outside looking in, one person's going to tell one story and another person's going to tell another story, and this is what's going on. Yeah, um it is people setting, cars on fire and stuff like that, and it was a guy throwing bricks, but that's not the only thing. You just showing it really takes one person to set that car on fire, and it takes one person to throw those bricks. But you got to look at it like this, family, like the guy you seeing on the screen right now. It takes only one person to do that, and that's what it was, one person. A lot of these people out here, they're doing a peaceful protest. As you can see, they're holding up their flags and they're holding up their phones and they're holding up signs. It's a peaceful protest, and sometimes, um, they'll try to make it seem like it's more than what it is. And as far as the National Guard, shout out to those guys because I'm sure that they had to take off work or whatever to come and do what they need to do. They were activated, and hopefully, I pray that it don't get to the point where it doesn't get to the point where we see shots fired. If we see shots fired, then it can get totally out of control. And with that, I'm agreeing. I'm definitely agreeing with the mayor and the governor on saying, "Hey, we can handle this. Let us handle this because this can get totally it can destroy some stuff. Like all it takes is one shot. One shot." And this guy, the president, he's saying that, "Hey, you know what? These National Guard ain't nothing. I got some Marines right up the street, and I will activate them." Let me tell you something, family. National Guard is an entity that they they do the army on the weekends. 2 days out of a month, and then they go like to a camp like 2 weeks out of a year or something like that. Annual training. If he was to activate some full time Marines, like, dude, you don't want that. Like, that would be really bad. I mean, that would be really, really bad. When I say bad, it would be bad because it's no in between. You activate them, they come out there, they going. It's on. And they're killing machines. They're killing machines. So Oh, I pray that that wouldn't happen. These National Guard men you're seeing, uh, just my opinion. I don't think it's any bullets in those guns. Trust me, because sometimes it's certain people and different things can be sometimes idiots. I don't think they would give people live rounds. So I think that's just there as a presence. I think if the people get too close, um, they will the police will come from behind the National Guard. I think the National Guard is just there as a barrier, more or less of a barrier. If the people get too close, then they'll the police will come up. But yeah, I think this was a peaceful demonstration. I think it just shut some streets down, and I can side with them. I can side with both sides, and I can definitely side if your uncle's been in your house for 20 something years and he's the provider. He's a good dude. He just drink his beer here and there, but he's a hard worker. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes and knocks on the door and drags him out. I can understand that. Drag your auntie out, drag your child out. It was some things set up a few years ago, so these people could get their green cards and stuff like that. So, with that being said, they know right where to go get them at. They go, and that's what they're doing. And but I give it to the Hispanics. They holding their water. They fighting back, man. And sometimes that's what you got to do. We don't know where this world is going, and like I said, this is only my opinion. But man, sometimes we got to stick together no matter what. And just like police, the National Guard, they're sticking together, and everybody have their orders, and But I do feel for people. I do feel for people in this world is starting to trip. Hey, but anyway, what you guys think? Hey, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. How do you feel about this situation? Do you feel like I'm wrong? I mean, leave me a comment. Let me know you there. And hit that like button for me, and I'm gonna continue with this video, and then I'm gonna come back. We're gonna talk some more. We're gonna talk some more. I promise.
Mildly hurt. And this comes as President Trump deployed some 2,000 National Guard troops to California over the protests. Governor Newsom has been pushing back, calling the move, quote, purposefully inflammatory, and warning it will only escalate tensions. Tonight, the governor saying, in part in a statement on X, local law enforcement didn't need help. Trump sent troops anyway to manufacture chaos and violence. Trump succeeded. Amid growing concern over the military presence, L.A. Mayor Karen Bass is speaking out.
I was hoping to prevent this situation from happening. I was trying to encourage the administration that if they deployed the National Guard in Los Angeles, it would create a sense of chaos. It's the last thing our city needs.
President Trump authorized the deployment of the National Guard without the governor's approval, declaring the protests a rebellion and warning more troops could follow if the violence continues. Tonight, Sacramento Mayor Kevin McCarty released this statement in response to the protest in L.A., saying in part, quote, the federal government's actions in Los Angeles are harmful and purposefully inflammatory, putting Californians in unnecessary danger. Sacramento has a long history of standing with immigrants and will continue to do so in this moment and those that follow.
Julian, your gut reaction to all this. Trump was thanking the National Guard for a job well done last night before they were even there. Is he more focused on the optics than the reality of this situation unfolding?
Well, of course he is. The other thing that's going on, of course, Alex, is that they're provoking this. As Gabe was saying, they want these images, but it's for all the wrong reasons. It's because they're provoking what are peaceful demonstrators. And we've seen this before. We saw this in Lafayette Square on June 1st, 2020. Folks remember the tear gas being fired, Trump going to that church and holding a Bible up. This is what he likes to do. It's part of his authoritarian impulse. We saw it when he was campaigning in 2015 and 2016, when he promised to pay the legal bills of folks who would rough up protesters at his rallies. That's Donald Trump. And so there's a lot of mistruths, a lot of lies coming out of this administration. And one of the demonstrators are the problem. ICE is the problem right now.
Well, Susan, let's point to the mayor and governor who did not ask for the National Guard. So Trump went over their heads using a rule that's meant for when there is rebellion or danger of rebellion against the U.S. government. Does it seem like a proportional response to what we've been seeing?
It is not, Alex, because the governor the governor would be the one to call in the National Guard. They don't want them there. They know their city. And it is what I rarely agree with Governor Newsom, but Donald Trump is sending those folks there to make a spectacle. This is the visual that Donald Trump wants. And it is, it goes against the wish of a governor from a president who claims he's into states' rights. But more importantly, it creates a tinderbox situation potentially. And that's what we should be more concerned about, just something sparking potential violence.
And here's why this is not new for Los Angeles, Dawn, because
Yeah, family, and that's what I was talking to you guys about. Like, right now it's just paintball, paint, and tear gas, and phones on the other side, and maybe they might set a car on fire and throw some rocks. But Lord forbid this gets to where it's gunfire. If it gets to gunfire, if it gets to where they're shooting guns, then we own something else then. And that's what I don't want to happen. And maybe if it did get to that, he would activate those Marines. Well, they're not activated. They're already full time. So he would bring them out, and then we would actually see some problems. We would probably see a bloodbath on both sides. And that's what we don't want. That's what we don't want, family.
LA Mayor Karen Bass says, in fact, that mass civil unrest, just like the 1992 Rodney King riots, which I well remember living there, is what happens when there is a large-scale presence of troops. So what is the risk of scaling up the federal response to this level? How do you see it?
The risk is that it will absolutely incite and be an incendiary measure for not only protesters, but for just average people who want to protect citizens. I think this is a seminal and extraordinarily important moment in American civil rights history. We've all acknowledged that this has been done, the National Guard deployed, not only against the wishes, but without the request of the sitting governor. The last time that the National Guard was deployed to the state in military fashion without the request of the governor was in 1965 when LBJ sent the National Guard to Tuscaloosa, Alabama to forcibly integrate Vivian Malone into the University of Alabama. The last time this extraordinary measure was used was to enforce civil rights. President Trump is using it to trample upon civil rights. And it is a stark juxtaposition, and we should never forget the scope of history and where this fits precisely in it.
Julian, our colleague Jacob Soboroff spoke exclusively with the border czar Tom Homan about what he says are necessary arrests of protesters. Take a listen.
Anybody has a right to protest. They got the First Amendment rights. But when you...
So can I ask you something, family? Looking at this situation, do you think, if you compare this situation to the situation when the protesters stormed Washington and went to the Capitol and all that, and I think it's over, don't hold me to it, 12 to 1,500 people that were partying. I mean, like, is this the same situation? But this is not violent like that. This is really not violent like that. But what do you think? I mean, leave me a comment. What do you think? Leave me a comment.
You impede a federal law enforcement officer, that's a crime. When you put hands on them, of course, that's a crime. When you prevent them from doing their job, that's a crime. So, I've said since January 20th, you can protest all you want. When you cross that line, we're going to be seeking prosecution.
Okay, let's remind our viewers that this administration pardoned more than 1,500 people convicted in the January 6th attack who were trying to impede the peaceful transfer of power, including many who attacked police officers. Is it credible when this administration says the focus of moves like this we're seeing in Southern California is to protect law enforcement?
No, it's not. I mean, they've shown, this administration and Donald Trump especially has shown that they really don't care about protecting law enforcement. He showed that by pardoning all those January 6th rioters who violated many laws and, of course, beat up and hurt law enforcement. On top of that,
they sure did. They They was beating them up out there and watching them. But hey, family, check this out. That's the end of this video. Army deployed to California. U.S. versus U.S. Us versus us. Hey, man, what do you think? Hey, leave me a comment. Hey, man, hit that like button. Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, if it's just one of you guys in here, hey, I appreciate you. If it's a million, I appreciate you. Hey, it's a million channels on YouTube, and you decide to watch mine. I appreciate every view. I appreciate everything. The numbers are going up. I promise to put out videos, and I'll see you soon. I appreciate you guys, man. It's going to be a wonderful, beautiful day. Hey, man, see you on the next video.